Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. My name is George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. We've got another episode on the road. I'm out in my motorhome, and I want to be able to give you a message today of something that I think might be applicable to a lot of things going on in our economy and our world. And it's 12 strategies for dealing with uncertainty in your life. You know, I've been reading a lot lately on this topic, and actually the quote of the day today by Tony Robbins is a great way to start this up. The quote of the day from the Daily Mastermind mobile app is, beliefs have the power to create and the power to destroy. Beliefs have the power to create and the power to destroy. And I really believe that. You know, our beliefs are our ability to either deal with situations or not have been, they've been created through our experience. And uncertainty is something that's pretty common out there in the world right now today. But uncertainty is a necessity of being an entrepreneur and for you to have growth and success in your life. And so let me add to that just a little bit. Your ability to allow and embrace uncertainty in your life is going to be in direct proportion to your amount of success and growth and prosperity that you have. You know, we can't grow or achieve inside our comfort zone. We all know that. And we can't achieve our best version of ourselves without growing to our full capabilities, which include outside our comfort zone. You know, Brendon Burchard is a best-selling author, and he wrote the book High Performance Habits, which I've been reading recently. And it's about, and he talks about our need and our requirement to deal with uncertainty if we want to create an amazing life. He said, certainty is the enemy of growth and high performance. Too many people want certainty among the chaos of the world. But certainty is a fool's dream, and thus the charlatan's selling point. Certainty ultimately blinds you, sets, basically fixed limits, and creates automatic habits that become predictable, bad thinking, and openings for your competitors to surpass you. He goes on to say, high performers outgrow this youthful need for uncertainty and replace it with curiosity and genuine self-confidence. So, we know that uncertainty is a good thing, but how do we deal with it? That's, easier said than done. So I was reading an article just the other day on Success, the Success magazine site. It's success.com, and it's an article from Michael Pytrak, and I think I pronounced his name right, Michael Pytrak. But he shared 12 secrets, or basically methods or ways for creating efficiency, and I believe dealing with uncertainty in your life. And so I just want to share those 12 messages with you here today. So these 12 secrets I'll kind of go through, and I'm going to add a little bit of commentary of my own. And I hope it's something that can help you to be able to deal with and ultimately, manage the uncertainty in your life, because the more you can allow uncertainty in your life, the more successful you're going to be. So secret number 1 is to clarify your purpose. And man, I've seen this so many times, mentioned from great thought leaders. Clarify your purpose, because when your purpose is clear, you're unstoppable. When your purpose is clear, your motivation level increases and you find solutions far quicker to your problems that you're facing than if you're just wandering throughout life. Secret number 2, create a will not do list. Create a will not do list. Now, my partner, Robert Stuberg, he likes to create a list every year like most of us would do daily, New Year's resolutions. He creates a list every year of things he's going to eliminate or delegate from his life. And I believe that when you get clear on your focus and you really dial that in, it makes it much easier to say no to new ideas and projects and things like that. But saying no is critical, and it's critical to creating the results in the life that you want. So it'll help simplify your life, and it'll help you to focus even more when you learn to say no. Okay, secret number 3, play offense, not defense. Play offense, not defense. Most people spend their entire lives playing defense because they're just reacting to life and they're constantly distracted by everything going on. The day-to-day issues that come up are pretty overwhelming, and especially right now. And if you're not too careful, they just distract you and time goes by. So sometimes we need to let a few balls drop in order to, focus on moving forward in our life. But more importantly, you need to schedule and focus on driving your team, your life, your priorities ahead through offense as much as possible. Find areas of your business and your life to focus on that are non-negotiable. These are blocks that you push forward in your schedule that are going to take you to the next level so that you can become a great offensive player, not just going through life playing defense. For example, when you're working on you, like meditation or journaling or working out, don't neglect these areas. Make those areas that are fixed in your schedule no matter what, and then you'll be playing more offense. Secret number 4, practice self-care. Practice self-care. Because here's the thing. You are your greatest asset, right? And I like how the author, Michael, puts it in his article. I'll just kind of read part of his article. The most neglected piece of any productivity plan is your most important asset, you. Success coach and entrepreneur David Bayer says 80% of success is determined by your mindset, which we know. And if the programming between your ears is delivering anxiety, doubt, fear, frustration, it doesn't matter how much hustle or hard work you're doing. It's going to come work against you. One key to creating an optimal mindset is to invest in self-care. Hikes in the woods, playing your favorite game, good meals, time with friends, whatever recharges you and your soul. You can do your best work when your mind and heart are overwhelmed, or you can't do your best work when your mind and heart are overwhelmed. So you wouldn't constantly run an engine at the red line without oil, right? You have to take care of your car. Now, a note that he puts is brushing your teeth, taking your meds, reading self-help books. That's not self-care, okay? You've got to work on things that help supercharge your spirit and inspire you, and that is self-care. Okay, so now secret number 5, leverage health hacks. I've really gotten into this recently because health is by far the quickest way to improve your mindset and your results. The mind and body connection is proven. It's proven there, and many, many people have talked about it. So find some great resources that'll help you get your health tips and hacks and suggestions. I read blogs from guys like Ben Greenfield and Tim Ferriss and others. But find ways to regulate your energy with exercise and supplements, and whether it's intermittent fasting or light therapy or getting out in the sun or getting outside. Get to know your body, get to know what works best for you, and get proactive. Take control of your physical health, and you will definitely see an impact on your levels of energy. And, just remember, when you can control these areas of your life, and you can control your workouts, you can control your ability to eat right, then when you're in times of uncertainty, you'll feel like you have a level of control over your life. And that's really, really important, to feel like you can create certainty in an uncertain world. So secret number 6, play to your strengths. Stop doing things you're not good at. We've talked about focusing inside your unique talent, which is areas that you're excellent and passionate about. But try to do everything you can to stay inside that area of unique talent, because most people spend their entire lives in areas that they're incompetent in, just because they have to earn a buck or that's their job. Or worse, this is the worst part, is that they spend their life doing things they're good at, but they're not excellent at. This is a recipe for unhappiness because you don't get the passion and fulfillment, involved with it. So focus on your strengths, focus on your unique abilities, and I promise you'll be able to plow right through uncertain times because you'll be driven by that inspiration and motivation. Now, secret number 7 is be the early bird. Now, I know we've all heard the phrase, and I have the worst time getting up in the morning, right? But the early bird gets the worm. So let me just kind of put it a little differently. I was listening to an interview with Ed Milet the other day, and he was talking about how his life and business was constantly in chaos. Maybe you've experienced this, where you wake up and the very first thing, your mind already within 60 seconds is going to stress and anxiety and bills you got to pay and problems you got to handle. And then one day he realized, just the same way I did, that if you took control of the first part of your day and the end of your day, kind of like bookends on a bookshelf, you'd have a far bigger degree of control over your life, and you would impact the direction your life is going. So get a morning routine. I can't emphasize that enough. Create a morning routine that is non-negotiable. My morning routine consists of, meditation or journaling, and then a workout, usually the reverse order because it's hard for me to wake up without a workout, and then my affirmations and goals, and then I jump into my day. And I used to let people kind of send me messages and things during that time, and now I just block it, and it's made a huge difference on my life. So being an early bird or creating a morning ritual is a real big suggestion I have for you. Secret number 8, understand the maker's versus manager's schedule. Now, I really like this concept, so I'm going to read you what the author wrote about this. He says, the manager's schedule is comprised of 1-hour chunks where you run from task to task, but the maker needs clear half-day sessions to excel. So a coder and a writer can't do good work in an hour. They can barely get started in an hour. Side hustlers are makers and managers at different times, right? We tend to kind of go back and forth between the two. So a business only succeeds by creating value, and creation is easier in the maker periods. Wise entrepreneurs schedule maker time first thing in the morning when they're fresh. And Tim Ferriss simplifies this by saying, make before you manage. I really like that concept because you've got to have time to be creative and thoughtful, and then you've got to have productivity time. And you've got to learn when that works the best for you based on your energy level. Okay, let's go to secret number 9. Always be shipping. This is a tweak on a term that I like to hear. This particular secret is a really good one because one of the biggest problems that people have nowadays is that they plan, they overthink, they spend way too much strategizing, and they basically avoid the doing or the shipping the product part. They're planning the product, but they're not shipping the product. The key to success is to schedule time that you ship stuff. Send the email, call the client, post the blog, release your product, create content to post. But these are different, these are really hard times because this is when you fear, right? You fear criticism, critique, failure, all kinds of uncomfortable moments because when you're shipping, you're outside your comfort zone. But this is where the magic happens. This is where you grow. This is where you learn. This is where you succeed in life. And, Parkinson's law says that, your time will expand to fill in your schedule if you don't schedule it. So schedule these times, these productive times. You've got to schedule that time or else stuff in life is just going to fill it in, okay? Now, secret number 10 is overlap your efforts. I love this one because I've always loved the idea of diversification, but doing it in a synergistic way. One reason I started this podcast is I realized I needed to accomplish ways to grow with personal development and financial education for me, but I figured I could, there's no better way to do that than to do it while I'm building a brand, getting out a message, helping other people, helping other entrepreneurs, and expanding my business with my, educational and financial companies that I consult for. So I do all of that by doing the podcast, right? So I don't need to charge money for the podcast because I'm accomplishing all that already. So find ways to follow your passion while also creating results in your life and in your business. This is a great way to deal with uncertainty because you have multiple things happening in your life and things can happen for your benefit. Okay, secret number 11 is mind the analytics. Look, this goes back to keeping score. You can't hit a target that you don't set. So we've talked about this before. You've got to have a scorecard. Now, there's a fine line here because I tell you not to keep watching the scoreboard because you got to be in the moment. You got to be playing in the game. But there's no use playing a game that you don't know if you can win because you're not keeping score. At the same token, you've got to balance that. So the best way to do this is to create KPIs. If you can create key performance indicators, things that you can track your business by, then there's a scorecard, there's a scoreboard, but you don't have to keep fixated on it. So for example, in an event company that I work with, we track registrations and show-up rates and sales and things like that. If you have a telesales or a call center, you might be tracking, contacts and dials and talk time and productivity. And, or you may have, a sales company or a business and you're tracking your key financial metrics like cost of goods and margins, or you're tracking your sales numbers or revenues. Have those key performance metrics, have a scorecard, but it's far easier for you to run your day than when you're wondering if you're being successful. Brendon Burchard measures, for example, the key areas of his life from emotions to relationships and things on a scale from 1 to 10 every single week. It's another habit that I picked up from that book, High Performance Habits, that he wrote. There's ways for you to be able to create a scoreboard without being fixated on it. So you need to do that. And that leads us to the last secret number 12, which is adjust your sales. Now, the author wrote, when he was a general in World War II, Dwight Eisenhower said, "No plan survives contact with the enemy." The same is true off the battlefield because no business or life plan stays intact once we start. The process of planning and all this type of stuff, it all changes once we start because the reality is life's going to surprise us, right? So if you're willing to keep a scoreboard, you also have to be willing to make adjustments as you determine and measure your life. And this is really important because this helps you to understand that, number one, you've got to stop trying to figure it all out before you start. because no one knows the path that you're going to travel until you travel it. You're not going to know what's going to happen. So don't over-plan, get started. And then second, be willing to be humble and honest when you see mistakes and errors and you need to change direction. Pride sometimes stands in the way of you realizing this, or you're so, dead set on a product or a brand or a thing that you just love and you knows it's going to work. Don't be tied to it. The market's going to tell you what works and what doesn't work. Have the humility as a leader to be able to make adjustments and changes. And so that's adjusting your sales. So let's go back over these really quick. Secret number 1 is clarify your purpose. Number 2, create a will not do list. Number 3, play offense, not defense. Number 4, practice self-care. Number 5, leverage health hacks. Number 6, play to your strengths. Number 7, be the early bird. Morning rituals, right? Number 8, understand the maker versus manager schedule. Number 9, always be shipping, doing. Number 10, overlap your efforts. Number 11, mind the analytics. And number 12, adjust your sales. I hope this article and these thoughts have helped you, come up with some key ways on how to deal with uncertainty. It's definitely helped me. I encourage you to go check it out on success.com. And I encourage you to study your own performance. Be an expert on what makes you energetic and motivated and inspired, because the biggest takeaway I want you to have about this episode is you've got to learn to deal with uncertainty in your life if you want to grow. But you can absolutely find ways to create certainty in an uncertain world in order to personally grow your economy. Uncertainty is going to play out around you. But when you track and monitor and deal with yourself and grow, you can create certainty within that environment. Anyway, that's my message for today. We went a little longer than normal. I really hope you'll share this message with those that might need it. I look forward to hearing feedback from you. Please send me feedback at george@g3worldwide.com or hit me up on the Daily Mastermind on Instagram or Facebook. And I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Talk with you soon.